Hi there, thanks for joining us. We are in Storm Watch. I'm Emily Vukovic, and here are today's headlines. Extreme wind gusts, making it feel even colder through parts of eastern Canada. We've got icy roads and significant snow, so let's break it down. We've got an area of low pressure, that Colorado low that moved through northern Ontario, in through parts of southern Ontario, brought up some lake effect snow. It is now bringing system snow through Kingston, up towards Ottawa, and in through Montreal. We have a slew of watches and warnings issued by Environment Canada talking about this winter storm. We've got blowing snow advisories, we've got snowfall warnings. An additional 10 to 15 centimeters is certainly not out of the question. We do have a snow squall watch in place for areas around the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay, and traveling on some of these major routes is going to be a mess today, especially down towards the 402 through London, through Strathroy, parts of the 401 corridor through Oshawa, up through Cobourg, towards Belleville, in through Kingston, Brockville, Cornwall, Ottawa. It's a mess. We've got wind gusts getting close to 90 kilometers an hour in some areas. I'm talking to you down through Port Colborne. Now in Ottawa, we have been seeing some snow, and well, with that, we're going to take a look at today's top videos with Chris Murphy. Thanks, Chris. Well, here is a live look at Ottawa. Yep, snow coming down, and we're going to see more of it. An additional 5 to 15 centimeters through, the traditional snow belt areas down through London, Strathroy, 5 to 10 possible. Trace to 5 up through Markham, through Barrie, and through Vaughan. We could see a few centimeters, and up through Ottawa. Well, we do have an additional 5 to 15 centimeters on the way through Kingston. Again, we could see another 5 to 10. This is an additional snowfall from today and into tomorrow. Now, the snowfall forecast across the prairies, we do have a Colorado low on the way that is going to be bringing in snow through parts of southern Manitoba, in through northwestern Ontario, Thunder Bay up through Geraldton. We're looking at anywhere between kind of 5 to 15 centimeters, generally speaking. Just in time for our winter forecast, it premieres tonight. You do not want to miss it at 9 p.m. And take a look at this. This is just a taste of what some people are getting from Quebec and, well, even across the prairie. So, okay, I lied. We're getting it pretty much everywhere. I'm Emily Vukovic. Thanks for joining us. We're taking a look at the bitter wind. We've got snow squalls coming off the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay. That is going to continue for the better part of today, and even into tomorrow we could be seeing that. Snowfall accumulations, well, we've already seen 5 to 10 in some areas, and we could see an additional 15 to 25 through some higher elevations. But in through Ottawa, totals up to 25 centimeters, certainly possible. Through tomorrow morning, an additional 5 to 10 down towards Strathroy and through London, Chatham, Kent area going to be seeing some more snow. Orangeville in line for another 5 to 15. Toronto, we're looking at trace amounts, just enough to make things a little bit dicey. And here's the additional snowfall that we could be seeing for eastern Ontario and parts of southern Quebec. Generally speaking, 5 to 25 in the hardest hit areas. Across the prairie provinces, you're going to be seeing some snow as well. We've got a new Colorado low that's firing up, and that's going to be bringing southern Manitoba, northern Manitoba, and northwestern Ontario some shovelable snow. All right, are your car seats ready for winter? Here's Deb Medichka. Yeah, I'm going to go with not bundling. I've got 2 little ones, and yeah, it's inconvenient, but totally worth it. Rounds of rain this week for you in British Columbia. Yet again, we've been talking about it. Okay, the winter wallop, but not just here at home. Well, on the way, so plows are certainly going to be at the ready today. I'm Emily Vukovic. Thank you for joining us. We'll start things off by taking a look at our weather alerts. We do have winter storm warnings in place through parts of Quebec. We have a snowfall warning through Ottawa over towards Pembroke, Bancroft included in that, as well as Kingston. In through parts of Quebec, we also have that blowing snow advisory, and when you have winds gusting up to about 80 kilometers an hour, it's no wonder. It's a cold wind, so temperatures hovering around that freezing mark, feeling closer to -5 to -10. Now, the winds are going to be easing throughout the day tomorrow, and by tomorrow night, we're only going to be dealing with gusts up to about 50 kilometers an hour. I say only, but it's still going to be very blustery. We do have the risk of about 5 to 15 more centimeters coming off the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay into those traditional snowbelt areas. Trace to a couple of centimeters for Toronto, but still traveling that 401 corridor with a trace to a couple of centimeters. If you've done it, you know exactly how dangerous it can be and how slippery it can be. An additional 4 to 8 centimeters through Montreal. Cornwall could pick up 15 down through Kingston. Very similar amounts. This is going to be additional of what we've already picked up. Snowfall forecast across the prairie provinces. New Colorado low forming, bringing in 5 to 10 centimeters for areas south and east of Winnipeg, 10 to 15 centimeters to areas that already got hit really hard. Some areas got up to, 20, 25 centimeters, even 30 centimeters stateside. Now, here's the low. It's really just going to kind of track together with a trough, like it's going to pull up that Colorado moisture with a trough. So we've got a period of light snow for today. We had a little bit of freezing rain around the Saskatoon area, just north of the city. Freezing rain danger, and now we've got your long ranger. Okay, let's look beyond that freezing rain. Here's that Colorado low that I was mentioning. This is the one responsible for bringing in northern Ontario some snow. We could potentially see some mixed precipitation Wednesday, Thursday throughout the lower Great Lakes. So your early morning commute on Thursday can certainly be a little dicey. Once this system moves out, we'll start to see a bit of a clearing trend, but temperatures, they're going to stay pretty cool. We're going to get back to more seasonal values because really we've been below throughout the lower Great Lakes. Temperatures in Atlantic Canada, look at St. John's, 14 degrees. Record-breaking highs through Newfoundland these last few days. Across the prairie provinces, we are going to see kind of a brief warm-up. Look at Calgary getting up to 5 degrees. Vancouver staying seasonal at 8. And then as we get into Thursday, that's when we start to bump up throughout the lower Great Lakes. All right, take a look at this. Oh, yikes. You think we have it bad? A head and force of nature. It won't take days, but possibly weeks. Our Storm Watch coverage continues. I'm Emily Vukovic, and these are the details. Extreme wind gusts. We're talking up to 80 kilometers an hour. We've got icy roads and significant snow. We'll start off by taking a look at our watches and warnings issued by Environment Canada. Winter storm warning through Val-d'Or up through Matagami. We are seeing snowfall warnings all the way through Ottawa, Brockville, down towards Kingston. Heavy snowfall is certainly going to continue throughout the day today and into tonight. Now, we do have a snow squall watch surrounding the shores of Georgian Bay and Lake Huron, talking about an additional 5 to 15 centimeters possible in the heavier hit areas. Now, we've got two things going on here. We've got system snow that's hitting eastern Ontario up through Ottawa, southern Quebec, and then we do have lake effect snow that's coming off the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay because of those northwesterly winds. Look at these wind gusts. We're looking at 89 kilometers an hour through Port Colborne. Here's a look at Iroquois. It started off as wet, slushy snow, and now we're seeing heavier amounts with decent accumulations. Oh yeah, that umbrella, it's not going to last for very long in the snow, that's for sure. Looking at the Ottawa webcam, you can see snow on Parliament Hill. We're going to continue to see snowfall amounts. Doesn't stop the tourists, so everybody's checking it out today. We are going to be seeing 5 to 10 additional centimeters down through London, Strathroy, through Chatham, through Kent, those areas, up through Collingwood, 5 to 15. We're just seeing a little bit more moisture coming in off of Georgian Bay. Drier air further down towards the south. Trace to 5 centimeters throughout much of the GTA and northern areas, and you know that driving in on the 401 corridor, it's an absolute nightmare at the best of times. So you throw in a couple of centimeters of snow and you really have to take it easy. A lot of people are rushing in to get their snow tires today, I'm sure. In through Kingston, Cornwall, up through Ottawa, traveling the 416, 417, certainly going to be very slippery today. We are going to be seeing an additional 5 to 15 centimeters in a lot of areas. Now, across the prairie provinces, Colorado low developing, and we do have an area of low pressure to the north, that trough combining the two. We're going to be bringing in about 10 to 15 centimeters through parts of northwestern, northeastern Ontario, and even in through southern Manitoba to the north around the Interlake regions. We're going to pick up about 2 to 4 centimeters. Okay, you think we have it bad? Take a look at this. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Monday. It's the 21st of November. Thanks for joining us. Our winter forecast premieres tonight at 9 p.m. and it's like literally perfect timing for what we've been dealing with throughout much of eastern Ontario, in through southern Ontario with snow squalls. We have been seeing fairly decent amounts of accumulation. Those snow squalls, they are going to continue. And with more on where it's snowing, here's Chris Murphy. For example, if you live in any of these areas, this snow is going to continue through today. Fluid, what to look for and how you can do it from home. Here's Kevin Yard. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Good advice. All right, winter tires, people in Newfoundland certainly have not been thinking about it. They've been dealing with record-breaking temperatures. I want to point out Stephenville, 18 degrees for Sunday. The last time they saw this type of heat was 1892. Talk about record-breaking. Remarkable. Now that heat's not going to last forever, unfortunately. Temperatures are going to be dropping. We are going to see that upper low move in, bring in those northwesterly winds, and we are going to be back to seasonal air through much of Atlantic Canada, so you're going to start feeling like the rest of the country. Now, from May-like temperatures to making some snow. People are excited. All right, we do have some watches and warnings in place. They're dropping off as the morning goes on, which is good news, but we still have that winter storm warning in place through Val-d'Or, up through Matagami. We are going to continue to see heavier snow through parts of the Ottawa region, down through Kingston and through Brockville, Cornwall, Montreal, just on the cusp of this. We have seen some fairly decent snowfall amounts, and we've been dealing with some very strong wind gusts as well, causing blowing snow. It's been very dangerous, very treacherous to be out on many roads. In through Toronto, we've seen gusts close to 70 kilometers an hour. Port Colborne, gusts up to 90 kilometers an hour. Now, some of these snowfall totals are fairly significant. We have an additional 5 to 10 on the way through the Strathroy area. We have about 5 to 15 up through Collingwood, potentially through Barrie, all the way down towards Markham. We could be picking up a trace to 5 centimeters. So traveling on that 401 corridor, Highway 11 is going to be quite dicey. 402 could be a little bit slippery as well. Anywhere through Ottawa, 416, 417, we've got an additional 5 to 15 centimeters of snow on the way, 4 to 8 centimeters throughout parts of Montreal. So yeah. We've got lots of active weather going on. Now, across the prairie provinces, we're seeing that swath of freezing rain just to the north of Saskatoon, and that is going to continue into the afternoon. Temperatures cooling as it moves further north, transitioning into light snow. That freezing rain and ice pellets will track its way east and through the Winnipeg area. All right, let's take a look now at the next one. All right, we have another Colorado low coming in midweek. So Monday, it's still stationed well down towards the south, but come Wednesday, it's going to move its way, well, Tuesday into Wednesday, it'll move its way in through parts of northwestern Ontario, and then it'll work its way in through southern Ontario, where we could see some mixing. So rain-snow mix kind of late day Wednesday and into Thursday before that system clears out. Looking at some of our temperatures, take a look at this. Bay, and traveling on some of these major routes is going to be a mess today, especially down towards the 402 through London, through Strathroy, parts of the 401 corridor through Oshawa, up through Cobourg, towards Belleville, in through Kingston, Brockville, Cornwall, Ottawa. It's a mess. Joining me now, meteorologist Dr. Doug Gillum. It is all about the active weather pattern that we have now switched into, yes. And it's kind of about time.
It is. We would expect that in late November. We're going to start off in the west with the more impactful systems. On Thursday, another system, and the snow levels are below 1,000 meters. So bad news, it impacts travel. Great news for ski areas, though. The active pattern continues through the weekend. Now, further to the east, systems not as large, but potentially impactful. Okay. Wednesday night, especially above the escarpment north of the 401, 4 to 8 centimeters of snow. Kitchener, over to Guelph, and up towards Newmarket. Closer to the lake, temperatures very marginal. It's going to be much more difficult to get any accumulation. And as this system tracks to the east, it weakens. So this is not a big deal for Ottawa, Montreal, like the last system. This heads out to sea. The next system, a little bit warmer, more in the way of rain, but this one intensifies, looks like a nor'easter as we go into the weekend for the Maritimes.
All right, so it picks up a lot of moisture from the Atlantic. Now, across the prairies, this looks like snow to me.
It is, but it's just a few centimeters, and we would expect that this time of year. So this tracks across the prairies. We have our nor'easters. We go through the weekend, not moving very quickly. Going to have to watch for rain snow lines set up. We continue with an active pattern into the west. The ski areas continue to do well. Now, it is quiet in the Great Lakes. It's great news for the Grey Cup, and temperatures really not far off what we would expect this time of year. So at kickoff, around 5 degrees, and then temperatures steadily dropping through the game.
Well, that's not bad. No. I mean, people are hardcore. They'll bundle. They'll be all right. Now, as we get into Monday, here comes another system. So we actually kind of escape it for Sunday, which is good.
Yes, it is great timing. Impactful systems next week. Now, this one likely rain for southern Ontario. As it continues to track to the northeast. The next system, track uncertain. Some of the models take it a little bit further to the south, so that bears watching in southern Ontario.
All right, thanks, Ted. Sure.